Hi everyone, how are you? Today's presentations for the Virtual Eritrean Festival in the USA is going to be focusing on Geographic Information Systems, GIS. And my name is Gurmai Araya, and I teach Eritrean Studies at the Adal Eritrean Studies School in Washington, D.C., as well as working as a geoscientist in the field. Geographic Information Systems is going to be our focus for education and learning about our heritage. GIS is utilized in data mapping, the context to explain the culture that the Eritrean diaspora kids, Erispora, have. And so we're excited today. We've got a great group of people. I'm going to introduce, the first person I want to introduce is Binyam Solomon, who's the director of the Adal School in Washington, D.C. And he's going to tell us a little bit about Adal.
Thank you, Gurmai. My name is Binyam Solomon. I don't know that I would consider myself a director. The school is run by volunteers. I'm one of the volunteer and coordinator for the Adal School in Washington, D.C. The school has been running for over 20 years now, and it's run, like I said, mostly by volunteers. We teach language, history, and culture. We have classes for elementary, middle, and high school students. Right now, due to the COVID-19, the classrooms had been moved online, and we're teaching over Zoom. The summer session has been going on for a while, and we had classes for elementary, middle, and high school students on Sundays. Teacher volunteer Gurmai Araya, Simrat Bellai and Dawit Hafte had been teaching the classes over the summer, and they've been really doing a wonderful job. And part of what they're doing today, the presentation, are some of the students and some of the activities they did over the summer. We have plans to continue the classes in the fall online due to COVID-19. And when COVID-19 is hopefully resolved, we'll get back to teaching the classes inside the community center. Thank you.
Thank you, Binyam Solomon. Yeah, I would say that you've been involved for a long time, volunteering, organizing, and helping the community through teaching kids. And we've been honored to join you over the years to be volunteer teachers. This summer has been very interesting. We've been doing a variety of studies, language, art, and one of the key things we've been doing with the students is mapping their Eritrean connections. How are they connected to Eritrea virtually by looking at maps, where the places are on the map. Everything from the older kids learning about water volume and resources down to the elementary school kids learning about the various zones, regions, Zobatat, and then you've got the middle school kids, diving in and mapping detailed personal connections to Eritrea. So it's been a very powerful tool. And today we're joined by three students. Two of them are from the Adal School, and one of them is actually from another program. His name is Abel Johannes Kasai. He's a rising high school junior. He is working on a mapping water resources and conservation in Eritrea. And Abel, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. Can you describe your project for us? And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on that before we get into a demo, but really excited about your project. Tell us about your project.
Hey, thank you, G-Man. So I did Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, and what that is basically data visualization. Mm-hmm. So it shows tables and mappings and whatnot, and yeah, so you can like convert it from like an Excel spreadsheet into Power BI. It'll get in the data, it'll feed you the data right back at you in a more cleaner way.
Excellent. I'm going to also introduce the other two students, and then we're going to come back to you, Ariel, and you're going to give us a hands-on demonstration. So get ready, and I'm going to tell you to share your screen. You're going to do that, all right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. The other students that we have with us today are Mele Girmay and Rime Girmay. Mele is a rising 8th grader, and Rime is a rising 6th grader. Mele, can you describe your project for us?
Hi, thank you. We are excited to be here, and we have mapped different aspects of Eritrea, such as the regions and mountains and historic landmarks.
How about Remake? What was your involvement in the project?
Yeah, we've been using GIS a lot to map our project and find different places on like Google Maps and organize our data onto Google Maps.
So you guys are more focused on the demographic and geographic national level, whereas Abel, we're going to start with you. You're focused on water conservation and resource management, which is a very important topic. You know, before you get into the demonstration, I want to ask you a couple of questions, right? What did you learn out of this project, and what excites you about this project? And so at a high level, and then we're going to dive in and do a quick demo, okay?
Sure.
All right, tell me a little bit about your project, a little more than when I did the introduction. What did you learn about Eritrea, water and resources, and why did you do this project beyond you know, the actual how to do it?
Yes, so I did the Eritrean dams, how much water is in each dam, different types of dams in Eritrea, and what Zopa and what sub-Zopa it's in. And I learned that it's not as complex as I thought it would be like a couple weeks ago, if that makes sense.
It does, it does. So once you got into it, you were able to start figuring out that this is just data and you got tools.
Yeah, it's just data.
Show us your demonstration. Go ahead and do a share screen. And meanwhile, so the GIS is essentially a data analysis platform driven with and resulting with geography in mind. So you're able to map data based on where it is and how it's related to everything else. So excellent. So tell us about your landing page here, Adal.
So right here, it's just some just fun facts. So right here is the rainfall in the average year. As you can see, Eritrea right over here, it's dry. It's very dry.
So right on the border, dry and very dry, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
And so it's very important to have water conservation, and it's important to have a GIS to make sure you understand the volume, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, talk to us a little more about what you found out. Maybe you could show us a little query or two.
Yes. So what this is it's machine learning, so artificial intelligence, AI. So it's just like Google. If you type in how many is LD, it'll show you there's about 25 large dams in Eritrea. So I'll show you a demonstration. MD, let's do medium dams. How many MD? Pop up 16. There's 16 medium dams in Eritrea.
Right, and medium dams have what? What's the range for medium dams?
So as you can see right here, medium dams is between 500,000 to 1 million cubic
meters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. And then as you can see, how many ponds do we have in Eritrea that you were able to see out of this data set? That's interesting.
Yes. How many? 94.
Those are just the ones that you had in your data available with the.
Yes, it's just a sample data.
Sample data, yeah.
There's way more dams in Eritrea.
Excellent.
Ponds and micro dams.
I see that you have some fun facts. Maybe tell us a little more about that.
Yes. So right here, these are the 4 largest Eritrean rivers. So you have Seba, Barka, Marib, and Sitit. So
the water resources at the bottom right, some fun facts about water.
Yes, access to water. it's just fun facts. At independence 1991, only 7% of rural and about 30% of urban population had access to portable, safe drinking water.
Mm-hmm. And look
And
at
right,
that jump. It's a huge jump, isn't it?
yes, huge jump.
And so, yeah, let's keep going. Let's show us some categorization that you have on that capacity.
Yes, so capacity by category.
And I see that you have very detailed data on the bottom right there.
Yes, let me zoom out a little bit.
Ah, this is the location of all the. Tell us a little bit more about this map, Adal.
So this map is just mapping for mapping visualization.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, some dots are bigger than others.
Yep.
So that means the big dots are basically large dams, as you can see right here. So this one is Gaiteli. This is
Gahtalai, that over just south of Vinda. Mm-hmm.
yes, and it's on your way to Massawa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it's right on the just off the road there. When you're going from Asmara south towards Massawa. What is that? 50,000 or 50 million?
50 million.
50 million cubic
That's
meters
fantastic.
of water. Huge.
Yes.
Right. And how long ago was this built? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's very recent.
Yes. Very recent. I've been there too.
You have?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the Karkabet in the Gashbarka region. I see that you have some big ones, and then you have a couple of big ones in the middle of Ndogub as well.
Yes. This one is
maybe you can zoom in a little bit. That'll help.
yes.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we can see it really nicely here right away. Good job. This is excellent work.
Yes. So this is Karkabet.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a large dam, and the capacity is 150 million.
And this is, I remember when this was being built and it transformed that area. So 150 million cubic meters of water capacity.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
That's essentially a lake, huge lake.
Yes.
Did you, have you visited that yet?
No, I have not. I've only been to Gaiteli.
Okay, I'm sure that's going to be now in your plans now that you're doing this kind of mapping project, right? You're going to do some physical in-person surveys.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, show us. I know I'm always interested in data and how it's broken out. Maybe you can show us a Zoba view of this data. What do you think?
Yes.
And, zoom out a little bit so we can see the entire city, and maybe change the base map because it's very dark in this base map.
Yes.
This is a interesting base map. It's very easy. This is for navigation, right?
Yes. So I'll do OpenStreetMap.
Have you been to the Sawa recently?
Can you repeat that again?
Have you been to Sawa recently?
Yes, we went last year.
So you don't remember seeing Karkabet when we went there?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's the one. That's Karkabet.
I remember, yes.
I knew you from somewhere. It's from Sawa.
Yes.
Excellent. So zoom in and show us a little bit about your data based on your analysis doing it by Zoba, which is important because, it gives us a sense of the volume of water by area, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this right here, it's Southern Red Sea. That's the Zoba.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see right here, this one's an outlier.
What kind of issue did you have with that? Why did that come up? That's an interesting data problem.
So some of the digits, when I convert it to decimal points, they weren't as precise. So one of the digits were off. So that's why it went flying to the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's
you'll be able to fix that on as you clean up the data and improve it, right?
Yes.
This is just a data
it's just sample, yes.
issue. Good job, Adal. How much Southern Red Sea? What do you got? 390 million?
Yeah.
Or is that
290,000.
290,000 meters cubic meters of water. That's a lot. of water.
Yes.
That's a very dry area, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
Dental Depression. So still, the fact that, and then once you add new data, you'll be able to see how much change there is over time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, show us another region. I think people are always interested to see what's going on in the middle of the country and then in the west. So this is the south and east. Let's go over
Yes.
to the middle and see what's going on over there. This is excellent. This is one of the very, very important millennial MDGs that Eritrea has met, which is potable water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meeting the potable water requirements. I think now it's 90% potable water access. And visualizing that and where that water is coming from and so on is important. I guess. So this is good work. So talk to us about Zoba and Saba. And you gotta
Yes.
zoom out a little bit so we can see the rest of that area. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, there you go. How much do we have in Zoba and Saba? And that's all the dams in Zoba and Saba. We're only looking at those. Is that right?
Yes. Just that Zoba.
Wow, they have how many dams do they have over there? 49?
Yes, 49.
Lord, and look at that. The difference in water in Zoba and Saba versus the southern Red Sea region. How much more is that? Is that about 100,000 more? I'm sorry, 100 million metric cubic meters more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
As
my favorite part of Eritrea is obviously the Gashabarka, which is huge in agriculture.
Yes.
And let's see what we got over there.
So this is.
And this, look at that, and it jumps up by about 25 million metric cubic meters in volume, right? So this is a great analysis tool where you're able to ingest data and start to do BI. What's BI stand for again? Business intelligence, I think.
Yes, business intelligence.
And in this case, it's country intelligence, knowing details about the country. This is excellent work and work in progress. Tell me what excited you about doing this project while you were doing it? What did you learn? What are you hoping to learn as you go?
Well, I'm hoping to learn, like, how can I describe this?
Take your time. What was the exciting part about this? Was it the data, moving data around?
Yes, the data. I love data and analytics and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing that stuff.
And that allowed you to connect with your culture, heritage, country.
Yes.
And you're doing that two things at the same time, doing data science and mapping and learning about Eritrea at the same time, I think.
Yes, that inspired me to do this too. The two connections, I can put two and two together.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Let's look at what you got by, I think you have one more area that you wanted to show us.
Yes.
My subzoba, which is also more granular, right? You're diving further into the data. Talk to me about this. Ooh, look at that. You're like looking at just elaborate, right?
Yes.
That's an example of it. Very able to slice and query the data very particularly.
Yes.
Do you know what elaborate is known for, Abel?
What's it known for?
It's the best oranges.
Oh, really?
That's what they say anyway. Tell me a little more about this data. Show me some more.
So yes, this is just divided into different subzobas. There's a bunch you can see here. So a lot of subzobas. And and as you can see here, there's about 21 dams in that subzoba, but there's more. It's just sample data. So there's more than 21 dams in the area. And as you can see here, there's also the two rivers,
right,
that surround a couple of these dams.
Right. Now, what are those two rivers called again?
Ooh.
I think one is called Ansaba, Ruba Ansaba, right? And the other one is Gashbarka.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of water that flows, and it's kind of that area. I want you to take notes for a future project is to look at this in 3D, and you'll see why that area has a lot of water. It's a valley right in the middle of all these mountains, and the water flows there, and you can see that it's easily and this is the next iteration of your research. What else should we talk about? Give us a quick assessment of data and what you learned, and we're going to go to the next presentation, but I want to give you a chance to tell us a little more about your project, because this is a very exciting project.
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, I learned that I can use my heritage and put together what I want to do for my career. I can put those two together, as I said. So that's what I've learned, and that's not that hard either. When I came on to work on this, I thought, whoa, this is, when I watched a couple of videos on how to do mapping, stuff like that, I thought, whoa, this is going to be very hard, complex. But now it's not that hard. You just converts
You
data.
can kill two birds with one stone. Learn about your
Yes.
heritage and build your career.
Yes.
Excellent. Wonderful. We are going to come back to you for questions a little more maybe, but we're going to go to the next segment here in a second. The last segment was water conservation and water resources in Eritrea, presented by Abel Kasai, Abel Johannes Kasai, and that was an excellent project. And now we're going to be showing a presentation by Mele Girmay and Rime Girmay. Mele is a rising 8th grader, and Rime is a rising 6th grader. Mele, tell us about your project. What's the topic of your project?
Okay, hi. So our project is about mapping different aspects of Eritrea, such as we focused on geography of the cities and the regions and mountains and such.
Okay, so you're covering sociological, demographic, and geophysical aspects of the country.
Yeah, since we've been using like GIS a lot in the past couple of years, we wanted to make this this Google My Map that we've been working on.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to ask you about what technology you guys are using, because Abel, he was telling us about his, it was a Power BI and GIS. In your case, you guys use a lot of open source tools. Tell us a little more about the tools that you use, Rime.
We used like a Google My Map, a Google Slide, and Melly was using some different resources to like build up the Zobas and the sub-Zobas.
Excellent. So what did you learn, Mele? What did you learn from this project?
So we've learned about the relations of the different places of Eritrea.
Give me an example of that.
So here, let me give you an example that's good.
Without necessarily mapping, and you can just tell me, so is it a relation of, let's say, culture and language and ethnic group where they live, for example? Would that be something you learned?
Connections of different aspects. So for example, how the ethnic groups, where they live in the specific regions, the mountains in accordance to our history. Okay. I have some examples I'll go over.
Excellent. And what excited you the most, Mele?
This was a really exciting project. We found some important parts of Eritrean history, like some of the things that we put on our map were really important, such as the Adal Gobo, which is what our school is named after. I'm gonna let Rime.
What does Gobo mean again? Mountain? Yeah, your volume just went out, Mele. I want to come back to you. Rime, so what was fun and exciting for you when you worked on this project?
I was excited that we were going to be able to do a project about Eritrea, because like that's where we're from, and use GIS to like share our findings and tell other people and like let other people see what we have made.
That's exciting, right? And your part, you said something about your area was doing some of the visual parts, while Mele, you were involved in data gathering, is what I understand.
Yeah, and so we've organized it. Rime will be talking about the regions and capitals.
Okay.
I'll be talking about the mountains and landmarks.
All right, so there's no better time than the present. Let's dive in and get a demonstration, shall we? Maybe Mela, you can share your screen and guide the demonstration for us.
Yeah, here you go. Rime will start us off with the capitals and regions.
Okay.
Okay, so our map is organized by 6 regions, and inside the regions there are subregions. We organized it by like there's 6 colors of the rainbow. So we the 6 regions of the Eritrean map is like how the subregions are organized. So as
Nice.
like yellow would be like Bahari and has all the subregions different shades, so you can easily get through that.
Oh, okay, I like that. Can you show us the other regions? I love the way you did that. And then zoom in a little bit more for us as you do.
Zoba Debub is blue. Zoba Makal is orange. Menawik Bahari is purple. Gashbarka is green, and Zoban Saba is like red.
Can we zoom out just a little more so the viewers can get a better sense of what you're doing? I see you have El Aberida also in the middle of the country. Okay. So tell us a little bit of what you discovered or how you organize the data. This is a general map, but you're able to dive in and get details.
Yeah, so
Mele, you can start and then Rime, please.
Okay, could you repeat that?
So tell us a little more about the data, how it's organized, and what kind of information you can get out of it.
So we organized it from going outwards to inwards. So we organized it first by the regions, and by subregions, then mountains and other landmarks within those regions.
Okay. Well, let's do a quick query. Maybe click on something. What can you tell me as a user? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So if I'm using your map, what are some of the questions I can answer? What are the queries I can do?
So first of all, we have some facts within each region, so you could learn about that. We have some icons for different landmarks as well that we'll talk about. Okay. So Rime will go ahead and tell us about the different regions, and we have facts for each.
Oh, okay. So when you click on a region, this is what you get, a pop-up with data?
Yes. So the Ansaba region is 23,200 kilometers squared, and the population in the Ansaba region is 549,000 people. The ethnic groups found here are Tigrinya, Tigre, Hadareb, and Bilan. Zoban Saba is named after the Ansaba River, which goes through it, and Kepkebet Dam, which is one of the largest dams in Eritrea, is located in this region.
Okay, so that's an interesting way to discover data about Eritrea, right? You can click on it.
Yeah, it's very interactive.
Very interactive map. Are you guys going to publish this map when you're done with it, so it'll be online and anybody can see it?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. What else can you show us? What kind of, can I do a query or do I? Is it?
Like the search bar at the top, Melly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Say you want to find Nafa, click search up Nafa, and then wait, and then enter.
And search it.
If it gives you Nafa.
Okay, and then it highlights it for you. Okay.
So you have some facts now, like different landmarks, and then you can go into query. So first of all, we have Nafa here, which is one of the pinpointed spots. Other important landmarks. It was the headquarters of the armed struggle and the only place always liberated and never occupied.
Good point.
Another one of our landmarks is Badme down here on the border between Gashbarka and, between.
Can you get rid of the regions one line?
Oh yeah, it's overlapping.
And so this is a scale problem, right, with the data?
Yeah, it's just we had to use a lot of data and laying it. We had to add layers and overlap it, so that was part of the problem.
That's fine. But what were you able to do to solve that problem? Is it basically separate out the layers?
So first of all, you can zoom in, which kind of, it doesn't resolve the whole problem, but it takes away most of it. Also, the cool thing about Google My Maps is you can press this. So when this check mark is on, the Eritrean region, so that we have the outline that's messed up is there. But if we uncheck mark it, it goes away.
Yeah,
So you have layer control.
Yeah.
Okay. Zoom in on that and show us a little more about that area around Badime.
you can also change the base map. So Melanie, you can change it to satellite view.
Yeah, you can change it to base map too. But so Badme was where the second war mostly took place. It was the border war between Eritrea and Ethiopia, and occupation over Badme was a big dispute. We also have, let me go up here. We have the Dakhla archipelago over here.
Ah.
Too much.
And a lot of people don't remember that other than when they see the map, and it's got a lot of islands, huh? A lot of marine resources there.
There are two main large ones and about 100 something smaller ones.
So let me ask you guys a couple of questions. Wait, before I do that, maybe you have a few more things you want to show us.
I have a couple more.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a mountain called, there's a mountain called Gobo Adal, which is what the Adal school is named after.
Oh, yeah.
And it was where the war started, like the Eritrean war.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melly, tell us more about that.
The Eritrean War started here on September 1st, 1961 by Hamid Idris Awate.
Mm-hmm. Can you zoom in so we can get a better view of that mountain? Gobo means mountain, right?
Gobo and Imba, right?
Imba, another way. Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about Google My Maps is it also leaves the coordinates.
And you can use those for what?
Well, for mapping and geocoding.
Well, you can you get rid of the color so they can see the mountain better?
Where?
The layer.
Which layer?
You mean you can turn off the sub-region layer?
Oh yeah, I can turn that one off.
Okay, now what does that do?
I'll take away the color and the divisions in between inside the regions.
See. So if you turn off the pop-up, what can we see? Can we see the mountain?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know how much it goes in, but
It goes in pretty deep. There you go.
See the outline?
You can see where the mountain is, right around that.
Lines and the texture.
This is where that started. How about Sawa? Can you show us where Sawa is?
Mm-hmm. So Sawa is in Gashbarka over here. We went there last year, but let me turn on the sub-region thing again. That's how organizing it. Yeah, it's in this. It's over here. The cool thing about the maps is you can search up Sawa. I gave Sawa Airport, but.
You remember where Sawa Airport is? Did you see it? Have you been to Sawa?
Yeah. One of the airports we put in.
Yeah, there's an airport there, which is
You pointed it.
Big airport. Okay. And so this is Sawa. Maybe you can see how big it is, right? And there's an airport right in the middle of it.
It's really large.
Turn that off, the pop-up, so we can get a see. Maybe turn off the layer so we can see that. So it's like a city now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So there's an airport, and this is Sawa. Zoom out a little bit.
Okay.
You zoomed in too far.
There's.
Zoom out a little more, please. So you can see there's a, what's that river there? Do you have remember what the river is there?
Barka, I'm pretty sure. So gosh. We have some more mountains we can just go over. We have Mbaswera, Takara, Lerho.
What's Mbaswera? Tell us a little bit about Mbaswera.
It's the highest point of Eritrea.
And zoom out and so we can see the context of where that is. Nice. Okay, so zoom out and maybe put the regions back on.
You can see where the bottom of the mountain is too.
What Zoba is that in?
Masuera.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Isn't
in Double Valley. I mean, no, just about double.
Zabadabu.
Is it in Zoba Dabu?
Right here.
And what? You click on that. Let's see. So it's what's the name of the subregion? There you go.
Sub-
Sanafe. It's near Sanafe.
Yeah, let me check
You
this
guys.
out. San Afe. It is San Afe.
And you got the Zoba data. This from where did you get the administrative? It looks like you got that from an international data source.
Yeah, we have the sources on this page I'll show at the end. And so I had to layer it. I had to download it and layer it on top of this map.
What was the process for that call? What kind of data did you have to get for that? What is the data format called?
It was
K what?
it had to be a specific type. It wouldn't work otherwise. But these are our resources. I think if I go there, I can show you. Wrong one.
KML.
KML is a Google GIS format.
Yeah, we used KMZ.
And so you downloaded data from here, and then what?
After we downloaded it, we had to put it in a file and open it up on here. So you can add a layer. You can't go over 10. And so when you add the layer, it shows up on your map.
Okay. Excellent. Let me ask you a couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap up with a general Q&A for everybody. This is a great project, guys. I'm really looking forward to this ongoing project that you guys have to add more data, and then also maybe work with Adal to link up. Rime, tell me what the most exciting part of this so far has been for you, learning about GIS.
It was like really exciting just seeing the project come together, and like the finished, well, not really finished, but like seeing how, like how it looked at the when we present it.
Okay. And then Mele, what did you get out of this so far? What are you learning?
I had a lot of fun with this, working with Rime too, and we got to map out a lot of, so we knew about what a lot of these places were, and it was fun to see how far they were from each other and their relation. Can I add a fact?
Yeah, that'd be great.
One of the facts that we've been learning, and actually with the elementary school too, if you check out their video for festival, they learned about the potash in the Danakil Desert, one of the world's best fertilizers.
And where is that actually?
It is, Danakil Desert is down here off that triangle.
Right on that yellow one, right?
The triangle right there.
Just the north of the yellow. No, just north of there actually.
National Geographic named it one of the most hottest and beautiful place on the planet.
Yeah.
One of the most.
Excellent. Listen, I'm going to pull back now from focusing on just that, and this is a cue for getting to the next segment for us and talking about GIS, Eritrean diaspora, education for kids, and linking back and learning about culture and technology and all of that. So we're going to come back with a segment that is going to take it to a quick dialogue with everybody, and then we're going to wrap it up. Sound good? I do remember one of the things that we did when we were in Adal school is that the middle school kids were learning about the ethnic groups and locations. So maybe that's something that they can talk about as well, Melly and Rime.
Can I go ahead?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so for the middle school, I organized a Google Slides where we all wrote some facts about each of the 9 tribes. We had 11 students, including me and Rime, that took some time and
then did you guys build, or are you building an ethnic map?
Yeah, we're going to, if you, we had this map from earlier.
Oh, you did show that earlier.
Can I show it?
Yeah.
Really quickly. So we have this nice map that has all the ethnic groups. and where they're located,
So you guys are going
mostly.
to create a GIS layer for that?
Yeah.
So I think the connection here is using technology to connect kids with their culture, and at the same time also learning some tools for their career. As a matter of fact.
Absolutely. So what's wonderful about the summer session has been that as they learn about Eritrean history and culture, they're able to use, modern technology to link back to, where are those cultures located, where those, rivers and mountains and historical areas are located. And that's been really wonderful. Also, this has been just as educational for me as this has been for them, as we watch them do some of these activities, and they're pulling this data and looking for this data. It's also been educational for us as we pull this data and we map it. We've also been learning along with them, and it's been wonderful. We're currently discussing the start of the fall season. The summer just ended, and so we're planning to start maybe in early October. And we're trying to see if we can add other students. The challenge with this is that if the classroom gets too big, then it's a little hard to manage. But then, we can get more volunteers and set up more classes since it's online. But that's in discussion, and we'll have more information available soon once we finish the preparation.
The Adal School is a part of the North American Eritrean Communities Organization, so it's very easy to relate with all of those, and I'm sure it's going to be something that we will be able to do over the next 6 months to a year. But yeah, I think it's the tools are all online. Everything from Zoom to Google Classroom, and the children all over the United States know how to use these tools. There's no training for them on how to use Google and Zoom. Obviously, the teachers need to get that training, right? Like you said. So I think that's possible and we have to get on. And I bet the kids know this has been fun. They meet a lot of, they meet weekly. Every week they're meeting, and they're setting up ad hoc meetings during the week to learn about specific topics, or they're making maps. Maybe if I can go around with the kids to bring you guys into the conversation, Abel, can you tell us about your experience using GIS and tools, or maybe with other kids, Eritrean kids, or American kids, or Eritrean American kids? Tell us a little more about your experience, and who else are you working with, or we're planning to work with?
Yeah, so in the future, I'm hoping to work with some of the Eritrean kids back in Eritrea, more around like my age, around the high school age, so that they have a better understanding that can help their country out with this information that I have done. And also not just them, but also kids in like North America, and hopefully like kids in Europe and whatnot. Eritrean kids are like around the globe, so they can do this too if they have a passion for this. If they want to do what I'm doing, I can show them.
Excellent. I really like that. It's about doing what your passion is, and it's also about connecting with other Eritreans around the globe, like you said. Mele, I mean, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how your class has been organized, and what you guys do, and how often you meet, and what tools you use, and what's been your experience.
I think this class has been really cool. I've made a group chat, so it's been really, I think that technology has been really useful for connecting and reaching out so that everyone is on the same page. And we've been doing pretty good. We've been talking about geography and history, many aspects of Eritrean.
How often do you guys meet? Do you meet during the week now that you're in the same class and people are all over the place? And
we usually meet on Sundays, the class, but working on the Eritrean festival, we worked actually. We took 4 days. We did 4 days of practicing and preparing, and we have a really good turnout that is going to be posted. Yeah.
How about Rime? Tell me a little bit about the technology, how you used it with other kids, and what what kind of things you learned about other Eritrean kids?
There's some people in my class who've like been collaborating with each other to make cahoots, and some people have been making quizzes, and for like
big thing. You guys did a lot of cahoots and quizzes you built that other people are not using, right? You just search them on Kahoot and look for Eritrean language cahoots, right?
I've been also like me and my sister and Melly have been helping the elementary school class with Ms. Simret, like do their Zoba thing, and
are you also doing learning how to teach in those classes? Listen, I'm gonna pull it back together. I think this has been a fantastic experience. You guys did a great job. Everything from the water conservation, Abel, that was excellent. That's needed. And I want to see you keep building that up. By next summer, I want to see more data, more capability, maybe something that you can give back to helping Eritrea with more water conservation, right? Strategies, right? Mele and Rime, you guys did an amazing job, not only putting together various layers of data, but you have a pathway to build that up. I want to see more of that and more data integration, making that publicly available so people can search that data and have a good place to go. And maybe we'll talk to people on Dahai and other places to start sourcing this kind of capabilities for children to learn about Eritrea using maps, right? Very easy nowadays. In terms of wrapping up the Eritrean Festival, Virtual Festival 2020 USA, we want to say thank you to you, Eritrean Council, North American Council, you yourself, Mr. Gidon, Mr. Biniam Solomon, Mele, Rime, and Abel. Thank you so much for all your work. This concludes our presentation today on GIS for Education for the Eritrean Festival, Virtual Festival 2020. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I like
Thank
that.
you for having me.
Ciao.